Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a story that sounds like it is straight out of a science fiction movie, but it's happening right now and affecting thousands of people. We're talking about the shocking invasion of the Australian green crayfish in Texas, a situation that has escalated into a full-blown ecological crisis. So, what exactly is this creature? Known scientifically as Charax quadricarinatus, but more commonly called the Australian red claw crayfish, these aren't your typical local crawdads. They are often marketed as green lobsters, or even blue lobsters, in the aquarium trade due to their vibrant colors. They can grow up to a foot long, have massive claws, and they are incredibly aggressive and resilient. Originally from Queensland, Australia, they've somehow found their way to the waterways of Texas, and the consequences have been devastating. The first sightings were reported a few years ago in isolated ponds near the Texas-Mexico border. Initially, authorities thought they were just escaped pets. People buy them for aquariums because they look impressive, but they're notorious escape artists. A single pregnant female escaping or being released into a local stream is all it takes to start an invasion. And that's exactly what seems to have happened. These crayfish are prolific breeders. A single female can lay up to 1,000 eggs multiple times a year. With no natural predators in Texas to keep their numbers in check, their population has exploded exponentially. From those first few ponds, they have spread like wildfire. They've moved into the Rio Grande and are now being found in rivers, lakes, and irrigation canals all across South and Central Texas. How are they moving so fast? Well, these crayfish are remarkably tough. They can survive out of water for extended periods and can even travel over land, especially during wet weather, moving from one body of water to another. This ability to march across the landscape has made containing them a nearly impossible task. The ecological damage is staggering. These invaders are voracious eaters, and they're not picky. They consume vast quantities of aquatic plants, which are the foundation of the local ecosystem. This destroys the habitat and food source for native fish, frogs, and insects. Think of them as tiny armored bulldozers, clearing out everything on the riverbed. This destabilizes the entire food web. Native species that rely on these plants and smaller organisms are now starving. But it gets worse. They don't just eat plants. They're also aggressive predators. They attack and eat the eggs and young of native fish and amphibians. They even outcompete and displace our native Texas crayfish species, which are now facing local extinction in many areas where the green crayfish have taken over. Their burrowing behavior is another huge problem. They dig extensive networks of burrows into the banks of rivers and canals, sometimes up to 6 feet deep. This massive-scale burrowing weakens the soil structure, leading to severe bank erosion, collapsing canal walls, and even threatening the stability of nearby infrastructure like bridges and roads. The cost of repairing this damage is already running into the millions. Local economies, especially those dependent on fishing and tourism, are feeling the pain. Recreational fishing spots that were once teeming with bass and catfish are now barren, taken over by these aggressive crayfish. The change has been dramatic and swift, leaving many local fishing guides and businesses in a desperate situation. The visual impact is also jarring. In some areas, the riverbeds are literally crawling with a moving carpet of these green crayfish, a truly unsettling sight that highlights the scale of this invasion. So, what is being done? State and federal agencies are in a full-on battle. They're experimenting with various methods of control. Intensive trapping is one of the main strategies. Biologists and volunteer groups are setting thousands of traps, but it feels like trying to empty the ocean with a bucket. For every 1,000 they remove, 10,000 more seem to appear. The sheer numbers are overwhelming. They've also considered introducing predatory fish that might eat the crayfish, but this is a risky move. Introducing another non-native species could backfire and create a whole new set of problems. It's a delicate ecological balancing act, and the wrong move could make things even worse. This is where you come in. Public awareness is our most powerful weapon right now. The most important thing is to prevent them from spreading further. If you are an aquarium owner, please be a responsible one. Never ever release non-native pets into the wild. It might seem like a harmless act, but as we've seen, it can lead to an ecological catastrophe. If you can no longer care for a pet, contact a local pet store, a rescue organization, or your local fish and wildlife agency to find a way to rehome it safely. Also, if you're boating or fishing, make sure to clean, drain, and dry your boat and equipment thoroughly before moving to a new body of water. These crayfish and their eggs can hitch a ride in bilge water or on gear, and that's a primary way they spread to new lakes and rivers. If you see one of these Australian green crayfish in the wild, report it immediately to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. Every report helps them track the spread and organize a response. They have resources and reporting tools on their website, so please use them. This situation in Texas is a stark and powerful reminder of how fragile our local ecosystems are. The story of the green lobster invasion isn't just a local Texas problem. It's a warning for all of us about the unintended consequences of our actions. The battle is far from over, and it's going to require a massive, coordinated effort from government agencies, scientists, and the public to even hope to get this invasion under control. Thank you so much for watching and for taking the time to understand this critical issue. Spreading awareness is the first step toward finding a solution. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into important environmental stories. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you won't miss our next video.